People absolutely love those little bits of content because nobody wants something that's going to take them, 30 minutes or an hour to implement when, our lives are so busy as it is. So I love that, and I know that the Cinchcast is something that's fairly new.
I'm number one, I'm so glad that I started it. I started Cinchcasting after I follow Denise Wakeman. She's one of the online gurus that I follow in terms of learning how to do better with my information delivery. And she had started Cinchcasting, and she happened to note it on Facebook. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. Let me go check it out. And it was so easy. I set up an account in, I swear, under 60 seconds. And I recorded my first recording within that 5 minutes.
Wow.
I started by taking old blog posts that were still current in terms of content, but hadn't been really out there in a couple of years. I started back, my 2007 blog posts that were still valid, but probably nobody had seen them in a long time. And I started using those as content for my Cinchcasts. And I've been really amazed at the completely different audience that I've found through the Cinchcast tool compared to other audiences that I have, be it Facebook or Twitter or what have you. And it's so easy that it was, gosh, why haven't I been doing this sooner than this? And then I've just taken that MP3 that the tool creates, and I've uploaded it to my podcast and iTunes as well, so that I've grown an audience there as well. But Cinch is owned by Blog Talk Radio.
Okay.
And the Cinch technology is actually how they run Blog Talk. So the way I liken Cinch is it's really like an audio Twitter. Because most people that are out there aren't recording really long programs, they're recording short clips. But you can record straight onto the website, or they have smartphone apps that you can record through. But they've made it really easy for the novice to be able to get their information shared.
So Stephanie, I love that idea. I love that you just explained Cinchcast for us as such a great example of repurposing your content, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs forget, they think, oh, it's out there and people are going to see it, but as you've demonstrated, by actually taking that past, your tips from those blog posts and repurposing them not only on Cinchcast, but podcast and your iTunes, you are reaching probably 3 different groups of people, and it's all about, growing your business is all about extending your network in as many creative ways as you can, because there are people everywhere looking for the information that you provide. So thank you so much for taking the time to tell us about that.
Oh, sure. That's actually one of the things that we started helping our clients with, was figuring out processes to be able to do that. Because especially if you're a solopreneur, a lot of times you look at all these things that different people are doing and you're like, oh, I can't do all that. I don't have time to do all that. I don't want to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have someone that can guide you through to say, okay, you don't have to do it all at once. Let's start here. And once you get some good habits going with this, then let's add this. So using the Cinchcasting example for me, because I only have 24 hours in a day, and I really do like sleep, so I need to sleep at least part of that. So I want to do things smart, not hard. I tell people we're going to figure out ways to do them better, faster, and cheaper. And so in order to make me consistent with that Cinchcasting, I had to decide, how often am I going to record? I decided, okay, I'm going to do them during the week, in the morning, before I get going with anything else. Because I thought this is something new. I was really nervous about it at first, because I hadn't done a whole lot of audio other than radio interviews, but this was, new for me. And so I said, all right, I'm going to set up a procedure and an alarm. I put an alarm on my smartphone that said, don't forget your Cinchcast. And so before I started anything in the morning, I just did my Cinchcast. And I kept that alarm going until it became a part of who I was, until it became habit. So I used, that's another great organizing or productivity tip, is allow alarms to be your assistant and help you build habits. But the other piece is that I didn't try to do a bunch of new things all at once. I said, okay, now I'm going to focus on Cinch. And I'm going to get that nailed, and I'm going to get it really comfortable. so that I know what I'm doing and it just kind of becomes a part of who I am. And then I'll take on another new thing. And it's funny because usually I'm doing my cinch casts in the morning even before I come into the office. So my son, who is 10, will now say, "Hey Mom, have you done your cinch yet, or do I need to be quiet?" And he sat and listened to my cinch cast. So it's really funny because he is now taking in a lot of that information. I've heard him play back to me phrases that I've used in my cinch casts.
Oh, fun.
So he's picking up different entrepreneurial things himself just by listening to Mom. But the alarms really helped to make me accountable. And then it was a great side lesson to him on I'm trying something new and here's what I'm doing. And I talked to him about it. So I use a lot of things that I'm trying new in my business as learning opportunities for my kids too.
All right, well, because you just said that, now you're going to have to actually share that on my next question of the week, which just went out, which is raising up the next generation of entrepreneurs. So.
Awesome, can do.
Wonderful. So Stephanie, tell us what's on the horizon. I know you have some exciting things to share with us, and so I would love to wrap up our interview with all the new things that are coming and some of the special projects that you have going on right now.
Okay, sure. Well, earlier this year, one of our consultants, Ellen, who actually works on the residential side of things, where I focus on working with businesses, she actually works with extreme hoarding cases. So the exact opposite type of work that I do. But she was diagnosed with some very pervasive breast cancer. And she's currently undergoing some really aggressive treatment. And one of the things that we did in support of Ellen, along with her daughter, was start a Team Ellen Relay for Life team. And we've actually already done the Relay for Life. It was over, but one of the things that we decided to do was take a portion of our profits from the beginning of the time that we started the Relay for Life event all the way through the end of August, and actually continue to give, because you can give to the Relay for Life team even after that your particular relay is over. And so we decided that's one way we were going to honor Ellen, because relay is something that's been very important and supportive for her, and encouraging for her as she works through her healing process. So anybody that would like to maybe get their productivity jump started, know that you'd be also giving back to cancer research as well, as we're paying tribute to one of our awesome consultants that is fighting her way through cancer right now. And then the other thing that we're doing is we have a service called our Enhanced Office Miracle. And we are relaunching that. We've reworked it a little bit based off of feedback that we've gotten from our clients. And our Office Miracle is really fantastic for those people that are struggling with the influx of paper, the influx of information, the influx of email, just overall office type stuff. And what we do is we have a one-day intensive, and we work on getting systems in place to help you control that information, because knowledge is power, but it's only power if you can find it when you need it. So if you're taking all that time looking for stuff, you know, earlier today I talked about the average executive wastes 6 weeks a year looking for stuff. We're going to help you reclaim that 6 weeks and really become powerful with the information that you have, because we're going to get you into systems that help you find stuff in 5 seconds or less. And so after we go through that intensive, though, we all know that once you learn something, unless you continue to practice it, it can kind of go by the wayside, doesn't become a part of who you are, and we really want it to become a part of who you are, similar to what I was talking about with those cinch casts. So the Enhanced Office Miracle also includes coaching, ongoing coaching to help you with those areas, because everybody, when they do the one-day intensive, some things are going to click and make sense more than other things, depending on what your challenges are and what you're working on. And those coaching sessions then allow us to refine and get the systems exactly to the way that you need them. And there's also cases where something may sound good that we work through together, and then once you actually start working it through, other variables come into play that maybe you forgot to mention to us. And once we hear those variables, we say, oh, well, let's tweak it here and here to help you be more successful. So the Enhanced Office Miracle is something that we really love to do. It's one of my favorite services. And if that's something that sounds like, hey, I maybe want to know a little bit more about that, you can go over to our productiveandorganized.net, and at the top navigation, there's a schedule your strategy session link. And we just start by a no obligation 30-minute telephone call where we strategically talk through what are your challenges and then identify what the best next steps might be for you.
Love it, love it. So can we grab that link and put it below this video to make that really easy for everybody?
Absolutely, I'd love that.
Wonderful. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Stephanie, with your comment about taking the power back. And I think that is such, that probably encompasses everything that you teach, is really helping small business owners, entrepreneurs regain the power over life, because life can be so busy, and with more and more technology, there's so many more distractions and things to manage, and having those systems in place and things that work for you that might not work for, you know, Joe Smith over there, it's so important, and learning to really maximize your potential. And I think that's what I love so much about you, since I'm all about peak performance and helping people maximize their potential to, you know, to be speaking and interviewing somebody who does the same. So yay.
Love it, love it.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today and all the fabulous tips that you shared. I'm so excited to post this interview this week, and we're just so appreciative that you were so generous with everything that you shared. And for all of you watching, I'm going to have all of the links pertaining to the things that Stephanie spoke about today below the video, and all the ways that you can connect with her through her social media networking as well as her main site. And for anybody who's interested in being a future Spotlight interviewee, there's a link below that will connect you to signing up for Advisory of Women Entrepreneurs and the initial steps for getting started. So again, Stephanie,
and it's great. You should do it. You should consider it.
It's fun. It's not so bad, huh?
Oh no! Well, you know what? I've enjoyed everything that I have done with you. I think you're fantastic. So
thank you.
Yeah,
likewise.
No, this wasn't that at all.
Right back at you. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Stephanie. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.